Family members providing care for loved ones in the military community are often thrust into a difficult and little-seen world. Helping spouses or family members battle injury, disease, and mental trauma, they take on unforeseen roles that require great effort and empathy. Last week, as part of a Joining Forces initiative, First Lady Jill Biden hosted the families of military caregivers at the White House to screen the documentary Unconditional, When Minds Hurt, Love Heals, directed by MSNBC anchor Richard Louie. Prior to the screening, the First Lady hosted caregivers at the Jacqueline Kennedy Garden. The event included remarks from caregivers like Nikki Stevens of the Elizabeth Dole Foundation.
It can be difficult to think about the impact of caregiving, the way it changes your relationship with your loved one, the professional goals that you set aside, the financial strain, the social life that you lose. Yet, there is no bigger worry on a caregiver's mind than the effect caregiving has on their kids.
In April, President Joe Biden signed an executive order directing several federal agencies to help ease the burden for family caregivers.
You know, you may get tired of feeling like you have to carry the weight of the world alone. And we're here today because you're not alone. Your president and I see you, and we're working every day to help you get the support that you deserve. And that's why we launched Joining Forces, my White House initiative to support our military and veteran families, caregivers, and survivors. It's why Joe signed an executive order to make it easier for caregivers to get the mental health services they need, and for families to get financial help when they have to give up time at work to care for a loved one.
While caring for his own father fighting a difficult diagnosis, Richard Louie chronicled his story and that of two military families also trying to heal their wounds. We caught up with the film's director.
Richard, your new movie Unconditional screened at the White House this week. Tell us about the movie.
The movie's called Unconditional, When Minds Hurt, Love Heals is the subtitle, and it's a movie about something that affects what we believe is 100 million people according to Caregiver in Action Network. Folks that are going through challenges of mental health and physical health at the same time, including caregiving as well as in military families. And all those spaces have been something I've been really committed to. And both my mom and dad come from military families. They just never talked about it. And I think that so often as I've been working with the military community through the Elizabeth Dole Foundation as one of their ambassadors, is, as you know so well, right? This is what you do, Daniel. We sometimes put the military community in a certain space. But the military community is not only in a certain space, it's always also in every space. In the caregiving space and with mental health challenges, military caregivers face those challenges more often than those who are not in military families when it comes to caregiving for somebody who is fighting or living with a disability. So it's really important, I think, that overall as a journalist, I include our military community.
What is something that you want people to know about you as a caregiver, about your family as a caregiver, who might not know it, who might not be experiencing it yet?
I would say, just on the topic, specifically, Daniel, of mental health, is that we overly equate mental health as being mental illness. And that is something we should not do. They do not equal each other. They can touch each other. Also, I think another point of what we're trying to help, including myself, to understand every day is that mental health is not always wrong. Mental health always equals wrong. And what we're trying to show is mental health can equal strong. And that's what you're going to see in these families, mental health equaling strong. Amy Bouchatz and David and Huck Bouchatz and Lou Bouchatz, the veteran, all of them showing strength in mental health. And why can't we talk about that topic the way we talk about physical health? Right. Physical health, when I say that to you, Daniel, what have you been working on or what I've been working on in the last year after, the peaks of COVID is I'm working on my physical health. But I can also be working on my mental health. And why can't I say it in the same way? So the movie is really trying to break down some of those cultural structures we have around talking about something that should not only be equaling wrong, as I said earlier, it should equal strong.
Last month, President Biden signed an executive order directing multiple agencies to give help with caregivers, and the effects of that so far we probably haven't seen. In your journey, what have you learned that people experiencing this, caregivers, want and need from the government at large? Or what would help them?
Well, of the 53 million family caregivers that we know of, and I believe that number is higher now because that statistic came out maybe 5 years ago, 6 years ago, before COVID. Family caregivers don't get paid and they don't get trained. And so with that executive order that came from the president, that is the most far-reaching ever from any White House to help these caregivers.
This movie screened this week on Wednesday at the White House, and First Lady Jill Biden was there, and she gave a speech along with you. How was that?
I think you know the answer to that, Daniel. That was just crazy. That was just like, I cannot believe that our little engine that could got to the White House family movie theater. That is a select bunch of movies that have been shown there. There were so many times I was worried we were not thinking about other people. Caregiving is basically taking care of other people. And we went through, I think we're going through times where I was worried whether we still cared for each other. And the fact that this movie made it that far was not only the, oh, shucks, golly, wow, but it was also, hey, this is a good sign.